Hello, fellow modelers, Bruce here. Well, it's time for us to look again at one of the lesser-known kit manufacturers of old. Now, there might be parts of the country where this kit manufacturer was better known than it is out on the East Coast, where I started my modeling, because this company was based in Long Beach, California, as you see, and the company is K&L House of Wood. And if you go on to eBay and you type that in to the search, you probably, almost all the time, will come up with the kits that they put out in great numbers for various transmission poles, regular telephone poles and a variety of poles with different power capability. But they also made some structures. I know they made at least one bridge, small bridge, and a few other oddities. But we'll talk in a minute about what this kit is. Older kits had this logo, the little googly eyes with a smiley face. And the time period, I would say, is, we see a zip code, so it's after 1963, so late 60s or through the 70s. You can see here this was an insert, kind of like an addendum to their instructions, and it's done with a typewriter. So again, late 60s through the 70s probably. If any of you know anything more about the company, I have not been able, with online searching, to find out much about them. A little background on why, when I saw this kit come up, besides the fact that it was an obscure manufacturer and an old-time kit, why was I interested in it? And I'm going to share with you some photos that will help explain that. As if you're a follower, one of my two railroads, the Upper Deck, is based on Pennsylvania logging railroads back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And in Pennsylvania, western Pennsylvania in particular, pretty much at the same time as they were logging there, they were also drilling oil wells, and so the landscape was contained loads of oil wells sticking up. And in these photos that I'm about to share, you will see kind of what the landscape looked like. And I do hope to create a smaller version of that on my layout. So I'll talk to you after you see the pictures that I'm going to insert in the video now. As you looked at those videos, at those pictures that I included, the first one had a landscape filled with oil wells on the horizon, and the second one is more of a close-up showing one well with the train passing by and some nice dual-gauge trackage. I'm going to try to do something that kind of replicates that, and I determined that I have enough room for more than one well. And so when this kit from K&L House of Wood popped up for the princely sum of $12.75 plus shipping, I just had to go for it. Now I've already done one well, and I'll show you what that is right now. And then we'll come back to Woody's well number one. Alrighty, what we have here is Campbell Scale Models oil well, which is one of their more eye-catching kits and fairly famous and readily available on eBay. I built this about 3 winters ago, and I had intended to work this into a scene where my logging railroad passes by. And now that I can tell that I'll have room for more than one well, I had some options. These are certainly, as I said, readily available, and I could have built another version of Campbell's Well, but, been there, done that, so that's what kind of attracted me to Woody's Well number 1. And it's a little bit different than the Campbell Well in that it doesn't have all of the structure at the bottom, the various little sheds and so forth that were built right into the well structure on the Campbell kit. If you've ever built one of these, you know that none of these sheds down here have nice parallel perpendicular walls or nice straight flat roofs or anything. It's quite a challenge to do. But anyway, that well is done, and it will be one of the 2 that I hope to work in the scene. Alrighty, when I come back, we'll look closer at the Woody Well number 1 kit. As you look at the picture on the outside of the box, you see the drilling tower here on a base, and it doesn't have all of those sheds like the Campbell kit did, but over here are a couple of wood oil tanks to hold the oil that's being pumped, and that's kind of what's in the kit. So let's look a little closer at some of this. First of all, the box, long and narrow. It's about 15 inches long. It's their kit number 11, as you can see. The instructions, as I mentioned before, typewritten. On rather large paper. All stapled together. There's some diagrams in there showing the layout of various aspects of the kit. That was the base, and there's the diagrams for the well. So one of the first things I'll do when I build this is photocopy these so I can build right on top of them. And that's all there is for the instructions. A couple pages of step-by-steps and those diagrams. All on paper that's so wrinkled and from being rolled up that it would be frustrating unless you photocopied it. And inside, a lot of wood. Many dowels, because the uprights on the tower are made out of dowels, not dimensional wood. And a lot of metal parts here for, I think you could see there's some of the, not metal parts, but wire, that the cross bracing on the tower were made out of wire. Here's some tubes that will be made into those wooden tanks. And that's about it. You can just see just a bunch of wooden parts down in there. Just my kind of kit. Here is some barrels. They look like they are probably Campbell barrels. And I'm not quite sure yet what these little poked out round things are yet until I read the instructions. So this will be a project. I don't know if I'll get it to it this winter or shortly thereafter, I would imagine. But again, fits in my wheelhouse for a few reasons. One is I can certainly use it in that scene with the Campbell oil well, but besides that, it's an old kit company, obscure, all made out of wood, everything right in my wheelhouse. Alrighty, that's it. And as I said, if anybody knows any more about K&L House of Wood, please put them into the comments. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you've not already done so, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Alrighty, talk to you again soon.